Okay, let's look at the topic of advertising now. And this is a chart from Statista, and it shows different types of advertising on the internet from 2013 to 2019. And this is in billions of US dollars. You see the billions rising on the left-hand side for 20, 40, 80, 60, 80, $100 billion, etc. And so basically the blue dotted line is display advertising, and the gray line is paid search advertising. So you see both of them, and then you have classified down below. So you see the incredible growth from 2010, a combined, 56 billion, and now 9 years later, combined 130 billion. Excuse me, 230 billion, sorry. Lots of growth. Now this looks at the US, and this looks also by format in billions of dollars, and it goes from 2014 to 2019. It's in billions, as you see on the left, on the x-axis, and then the y-axis are the years, and then blue is banners and other. Video is the darker blue. Now this is only display advertising. It doesn't include search. Search is different. The gray is rich media, which is basically animated banners. It's not video. It's just clever little animations that jump around the screen. And then on top of that are sponsorships. And so what you see is pretty consistent growth and everything. I would say maybe video is the fastest growing, right? That's the dark blue line, from 5 billion to almost 15 billion. But rich media is also growing, which just says that the quality of the impression is attracting advertisers, because let's face it, there's a lot of clutter on web pages, lots of things going on. And as opposed to just having a static ad, if you can have some movement and something going on that attracts the eye, it's worth it, even though those things are more expensive. Okay. Now here we have a very interesting look here. Now this is only display, this is not search. So Google looks a little dinky there, but when you put all their ad numbers together, they don't look so dinky, believe me. But this shows Facebook's phenomenal growth in display advertising. Google is still a huge player, and you know, once you get beyond some of these bigger players, it's just about, IAC, that's the Interactive Advertising Company. That's the name of Barry Diller's company that I didn't know before, with the Frank Gehry building, the company that bought Excite. They have some dating sites. They have a variety of things, some travel sites. Okay. And this is most visited websites. I think we looked a little bit at this before, but let's just take a look at this website here and see if it has anything to tell us. Okay. Updated April 2020. That's good. Okay. So here we have it. This is in the US. And this is monthly traffic. And this obviously is not unique visitors. It's total visits. It's almost, I would say, total impressions really per month. Okay. For those of you who are studying media. Boy, Wikipedia is big time, huh? How about that? Twitter, Facebook, Amazon, Yelp. So here we see Pinterest, Instagram, Craigslist. Not surprising, huh? eBay, LinkedIn, big. Etsy, big, especially around Christmas. Okay. New York Times, hey, newspaper site. Microsoft.com, not what it used to be, huh, folks? Way back when. Okay, a lot of shopping sites, weather. And, oh boy, there's Yahoo. Look at that. Jeez, look at that. And MSN.com, right, even below that. Right, so Spotify, Glassdoor, PayPal, Hulu. So NPR, that's my favorite. So there we go. These are visits from organic search. Okay. Okay. All right. Interesting to look at. Let's click off of this, I hope. Go back to this, which we always do, which I'd rather not. And I'll just see if I can get rid of this. Okay, and let's keep moving. So, little overview of things on the internet before we get into talking about specific advertising. But the internet is the biggest in terms of media spend in the U.S. and worldwide. So when we compare it with other media, the second biggest would be TV, and TV used to be the biggest. So the new king of media is the internet. And here are the new big players, all of whom we saw on that chart about monthly visits. Here's a little more information about the internet. These data are from the Interactive Advertising Bureau, which is the big trade association for the internet. I don't remember if I get too much into that in this presentation. I know I usually try to do that in all the media. Yes, I think I do. Yeah, I do. Sorry. Very good outfit right here in New York. They standardize a lot of things. They do a lot of really good training on how to sell internet and other things. So you can see this is how people spend their time online. This is a standard thing. This actually was something very much like this was shown to me in some training that I did at the IAB, and this is how internet, interactive salespeople sell clients. They take them to the purchase funnel, call it the digital marketing sales funnel, and based on what the client wants to accomplish, they have different websites, they have different places on the website, different types of internet advertising they can sell the client. So it was very interesting to me to see that when the sellers for internet media first got out there to help the clients choose the right things that were going to help them be successful, they went back to the purchase funnel. So, okay, now we have our different types that we're going to look at here in a little more depth, starting with search and then what we call display, which are just ads on the page. We've got banners, video. By the way, we also have rich media, I should have listed here, and native advertising. We're going to talk about social media, and we're also going to talk about influencers, which I know is a growing factor. Talk about affiliate programs, talk a little bit about email. So in terms of internet media, a very important concept is this idea of CPM versus CPC/CPA. And what do I mean by that? Hopefully a lot of you watching this video know this already. The CPM is cost per thousand, with the M standing for mille, M-I-L-L-E, which means thousand. And it's a cost per thousand impressions. Very important media concept, impression. An impression is one person seeing one ad one time. So if I see an ad on a website on Tuesday and see the same ad on Wednesday, how many impressions is that? That's 2 impressions. Now, the other side of the equation here is CPC, which is cost per click. So this is another way to buy and sell media. Cost per click, CPA, is cost per action or cost per acquisition, or in a way it's cost per sale. So let me put it another way. The CPM is I'm buying or selling internet media based on its media value, meaning who sees it. I'm paying for eyeballs. On the right-hand side here, cost per click, cost per action, I'm paying for actions. I'm only going to pay the media company, if I'm the advertiser, if somebody clicks on a link and goes to my site. Or I'm only going to pay, if I'm an advertiser, if somebody clicks on the link, goes to my site, and buys something. So that is a very important distinction in terms of how internet media are bought and sold. And so this is a conflict between the advertisers and the media companies. In terms of media companies want to sell based on eyeballs, the media value that they deliver. Advertisers want to pay based on actions people take. Are they clicking your ad to go to my site? Am I getting them to my site? Am I getting them to buy something? Okay, so there's a conflict here. And who has the risk? So if the buy is done on a cost per thousand basis, the advertiser has the risk, because she could be running ads with the media company and paying a lot of money for the eyeballs, but the eyeballs don't do anything. They don't buy anything. Who has the risk on the cost per click side? The media company has the risk, because you're delivering the eyeballs, nobody's doing any clicking. It might not be your fault. It might be a crappy ad. It might be a bad offer made to the customer to get them to act. 5% off is not necessarily a real big deal for a lot of people, right? If that's what the offer is. You don't necessarily control the creative. You don't control what the offer is. The advertiser does that. You assume and you hope that the advertiser isn't going to waste his or her time on the crappy ads and crappy offers, that they've tested these things and that they know they produce, but you just don't know. That's a bit of a risk you're taking. Okay. Key terms with, catchphrases, if you will, in internet advertising. Clicks. Clicks is when somebody clicks a link and goes to your site. Impressions. Now, in the internet, as with all media, impressions are based on an opportunity to see. It doesn't mean somebody saw it. We don't know if they saw it. We don't know where they're looking. Every time a page is downloaded, every time that page is served with the ad on it, no matter how small the ad is or where it is, it counts as one impression. 2 seconds of video. If 2 seconds of video run on our web page, that video gets credit for one impression. So it's opportunity to see. Now, click-through rate is an important metric for tracking. And this means I take the total number of impressions, total number of people seeing the ad. How many people clicked? Okay, so it's the number of clicks your ad receives divided by the number of times your ad is shown, or impressions. So it's number of clicks over impressions. If you have a high click-through rate, your ad's good. If you have a low click-through rate, something is wrong. People either aren't seeing your ad, or you've got a crappy ad. All right, so with those things in mind, we're first going to talk about search. And I'm not aware of lots of players in the search business. It seems that Google has pretty much monopolized it. MSN has Bing, but I don't know if really there's anybody else out there, at least in the Western